Before 2026 arrives, I want you to understand one uncomfortable truth. Time does not change people. I learned this the hard way. Pressure changes people. Deadlines change people. Reality changes people. Many years ago, I believed that if I just waited long enough, life would improve on its own. But waiting only made my weaknesses clearer. The world kept moving forward, and I stayed in the same place until I changed how I thought. I have met many intelligent people who are still stuck today. Not because they lack talent, but because they believe time is on their side. They think next year will be different without doing anything different. But the future is not kind to people who delay growth. Technology moves fast. Competition moves fast. Opportunities come and disappear quickly. If your mindset stays slow, the future will feel cruel, even though it is simply being fair. When I was rejected again and again, I realized something important. Every rejection was telling me that the old way of thinking was no longer enough. Failure is a stepping stone, but only if you step forward. If you stand still, failure becomes a grave. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, and discipline begins in the mind. Before you fix your skills, before you fix your strategy, you must fix how you think about effort, fear, and time. This is why this is a wake-up call. Not to scare you, but to prepare you. The world only remembers doers, not talkers. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity, and preparation starts today, not in 2026. If you do not upgrade your mindset now, the future will not wait for you. It will move on without you, quietly and without apology. Your mind is the bottleneck. For a long time, I believed my problems were outside of me. I blamed my background. I blamed my English. I blamed the fact that I came from a poor family with no connections. Many people do this. It feels logical. It feels comforting. But one day, I realized something painful and freeing at the same time. The real limitation was not money or luck. It was how I was thinking. Your mind is either opening doors or quietly locking them while you are not paying attention. I have seen people with incredible resources fail because their thinking was small. I have also seen people with nothing succeed because their mindset refused to accept limits. Before 2026, this will matter more than ever. The world does not reward effort alone anymore. It rewards thinking. If your mindset is outdated, even the best opportunities will pass right in front of you without stopping. When I started Alibaba, people told me the internet was a joke. They said Chinese people would never trust online payments. If I had accepted their thinking, nothing would have been built. The moment you accept small thinking, your future becomes small too. The biggest risk before 2026 is not failure. Failure teaches you. The biggest risk is thinking too small and calling it realism. That is fear pretending to be wisdom. Most people wait for a new year to change their life, but a new year does not upgrade your mindset automatically. If you think the same way, you will make the same choices. And if you make the same choices, you will get the same results. The future does not care about your excuses. It only responds to how you think and how you act. Fix the mind first, and everything else follows. Comfort is the silent enemy. Comfort is very dangerous because it feels like safety. It whispers to you that everything is fine, that there is no rush, that tomorrow will be better without you changing anything today. I learned this lesson slowly, by watching people around me. Many of them were not stupid. Many of them were talented. But they chose comfort, and they called it stability. Years later, they were in the same place, asking why life never changed. When you are comfortable, you stop asking hard questions. You stop learning aggressively. You stop pushing your limits. Comfort does not hurt you immediately. It works quietly, like rust. One day you wake up and realize your ambition is gone. Before 2026, this will destroy more dreams than failure ever will. Failure is painful, but it wakes you up. Comfort puts you to sleep. I saw this when I was young. I applied for jobs and was rejected again and again. Even KFC rejected me. It was embarrassing. But rejection kept me hungry. It kept me moving. If someone had offered me an easy, comfortable path back then, maybe I would have taken it, and maybe nothing meaningful would have been built. Discomfort forced me to grow. Failure became a stepping stone. Discipline became the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Many people today say they want success, but they also want comfort. That is a contradiction. Winners understand something simple. There are two pains in life, the pain of effort and the pain of regret. Effort hurts now. Regret hurts forever. Before 2026, you must choose which pain you are willing to live with. The world is changing too fast to reward comfortable thinking. Stability is no longer about staying still. Stability now comes from learning, adapting, and staying uncomfortable on purpose. The world only remembers doers, not talkers. If you choose comfort today, the future will force discomfort on you later. But if you choose discomfort now, you earn freedom later. That is the quiet truth most people avoid. Rejection is a test signal. Rejection is something most people try to avoid. They take it personally. They see it as proof that they are not good enough. I used to feel the same way. Every rejection felt like a closed door, like the world was telling me to stop dreaming. But over time, I realized something important. Rejection is not punishment. It is a test signal. When I was rejected again and again, from jobs, from opportunities, from people who did not believe in me, I started to notice a pattern. Rejection was asking me one simple question: how badly do you want this? People with weak mindsets hear rejection and walk away. They protect their ego. They say, it wasn't meant for me, but people with strong mindsets hear rejection and lean forward. They ask, what can I learn? What must I improve? Every no is feedback. The problem is that most people are too emotional to hear it. They let rejection define their value instead of refine their direction. Failure is a stepping stone, but only if you step on it instead of sitting down on it. Before 2026, rejection will become more common, not less. Competition is increasing. Standards are rising. The future belongs to those who can absorb rejection without breaking. I learned that rejection is training for leadership. If you cannot handle rejection, you cannot handle responsibility. Building something meaningful requires hearing no hundreds of times while still believing in your vision. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. But preparation is built through rejection. Each refusal sharpens your thinking, strengthens your discipline, and removes illusions. The world only remembers doers, not talkers. Talkers complain about rejection. Builders use it. Rejection does not mean stop. It means adjust. It means grow. It means prove how serious you are. If rejection scares you, the future will scare you even more. But if you learn to respect rejection, it will quietly prepare you for success. Most people never reach. Control your emotions. First, before 2026 arrives, many people will fail, not because they lack ideas, skills, or opportunity, but because they cannot control their emotions. I learned this lesson slowly and honestly painfully. When I was younger, anger made me speak too fast. Fear made me hesitate. Jealousy made me compare myself to people I didn't even understand. Emotion feels powerful in the moment, but it is a terrible leader. If you cannot control your emotions, you cannot control your decisions. And if you cannot control your decisions, you cannot control your future. I have seen very intelligent people destroy their chances because they reacted instead of thinking. One bad emotional reaction can erase years of hard work. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And emotional discipline is the strongest form of all. When I faced rejection, criticism, or public doubt, my emotions wanted me to fight, explain, or quit. But calm taught me something different. Calm creates clarity. Calm allows strategy. A quiet mind sees opportunities that an emotional mind completely misses. Before 2026, the world will become louder, faster, and more provocative. Those who cannot manage their emotions will be controlled by the noise. Many people believe passion is everything. Passion is important, but uncontrolled passion becomes chaos. Real strength is not shouting. Real strength is patience. When others panic, you stay focused. When others complain, you think. When others react, you plan. This is how average people are separated from builders. Failure is a stepping stone, but only for those who can stay emotionally stable while failing. Emotional control allows you to learn instead of collapse. Talent may get attention, but emotional discipline earns trust, and trust builds long-term success. Before 2026, make this decision: you will not let emotions decide your future. You will feel them, but you will not obey them. Because calm minds don't just survive the future, they shape it. Before 2026, there will be two types of people: those who analyze problems and those who complain about them. I have met brilliant, talented people who spent more time blaming circumstances than finding solutions. Complaining feels productive because it sounds smart, but it produces nothing. Winners see the same challenges and think differently. They turn obstacles into ideas, setbacks into strategies, and failures into lessons. I remember when we were starting Alibaba, there were so many reasons not to succeed: lack of funding, lack of knowledge, and constant rejection. Some of my peers spent their time listing these problems, and they never moved forward. But I had a different mindset. I asked, how can I make this work? Not once, but 100 times a day. Thinking is effort, and it is harder than complaining. That effort separates builders from talkers. The world will try to convince you that complaints are valid, that difficulties are unfair, and that inaction is safe. But before 2026, you must decide which side you belong to. Do you want to be the one watching life pass, endlessly justifying why things cannot change? Or do you want to be the one quietly thinking, acting, and building a future that others will envy? Winners do not wait for perfection. They analyze, iterate, and persist. Losers wait for excuses, validation, or permission. The difference is mindset. Complaining is easy. Thinking requires courage, discipline, and persistence. But it is thinking that moves mountains, not lamenting the rocks in your path. Your mindset decides which group you belong to. Choose to think, choose to act, and choose to be a winner before 2026 arrives. This is the silent advantage that most people will ignore until it is too late. Everyone talks about Thomas Edison failing 1,000 times, but they often miss the real lesson. Edison did not fail. He refined his thinking with every attempt. He imagined a light bulb long before it existed, and each experiment was not a random trial. It was a test of his mindset. He asked not if it could be done, but how it could be done, and then he acted relentlessly until he succeeded. I have faced similar moments in my life, standing in front of problems that seemed impossible. People would say, "This will never work," and even I sometimes felt doubt creep in. But I learned to focus on mindset over outcome. Every rejection, every obstacle, and every failed attempt was a chance to adjust my thinking and approach. Edison's journey proves that results come after mindset, not before. Talent and resources are useful, but without the right mental framework, they are wasted. The world remembers Edison not for his failures, but for his persistence and clarity of thought. He treated each obstacle as feedback, not a verdict. Before 2026, this is the lesson we must take to heart. Refine your thinking continuously, act despite uncertainty, and protect your imagination from doubt. The people who succeed are those who view every challenge as a test of mental strength. Your mindset is the lens through which you see possibility or limitation. Edison's light bulb was never just about electricity. It was about vision, strategy, and mental resilience. If you fix your mindset now, before 2026, you will turn impossible ideas into inevitable achievements. Remember, failure without reflection and adjustment is loss. Failure with the right mindset becomes unstoppable momentum. Cut toxic thinking loops. Not everyone around you is evil, but not everyone is good for your mindset. I have learned this the hard way. Some people are not trying to hold you back intentionally, yet their constant doubt, small thinking, or fear can quietly infect your own mind. Before 2026, the biggest threat to your future is not competition or lack of resources. It is toxic thinking loops that silently shrink your possibilities. Listening too long to negative voices turns limits into your own. When I first started Alibaba, I had friends and colleagues who constantly questioned whether my ideas could work. At first, I tried to convince them, to explain, to argue. But the more I engaged, the more their doubts began to weigh on me. I realized that my imagination and confidence were my most valuable assets, and they needed protection. I had to distance myself from those who normalized fear or scarcity thinking. Protecting your mindset is like defending a fortress. The walls must be strong, and the doors selective. Builders understand that focus is not just about working hard. It's about guarding your thinking. Your mind is your compass. If it is constantly pulled into loops of doubt, regret, and comparison, it will never point to opportunity. Cutting toxic thinking is not selfish, it is strategic. Silence, distance, and careful attention to whom you allow influencing your thoughts is necessary to build anything meaningful. Before 2026, consider this a wake-up call. Your environment shapes your thinking far more than you realize. Protect your imagination, guard your perspective, and create space for growth. The world will not wait for you to be ready. It rewards those who act with clarity, not those who are dragged by other people's limits. Act before you feel ready. Many people wait for the perfect moment, the ideal plan, or the absolute confidence to begin. I have seen countless talented people do nothing because they were not ready. I learned early that readiness is an illusion. Confidence is built through action, not before it. You cannot wait for the stars to align. You must start moving, even when the path is unclear, even when fear whispers that you are not prepared. When I launched Alibaba, I had no technology, no powerful investors, and no certainty. I was terrified, but I chose to act anyway. Each small step taught me more than months of planning could have. Action creates clarity, sharpens decisions, and strengthens courage. Waiting for readiness gives the world a chance to pass you by. The future belongs to those who do, not those who wait. Every action, even imperfect, compounds. Each risk taken, each failure faced, trains your mind and reshapes your perspective. Those who hesitate for perfection often miss the opportunity entirely. Builders understand that momentum is the currency of progress. Acting before feeling ready is the secret to turning imagination into reality. Before 2026, you must decide, will you wait for a confidence that may never come, or will you take imperfect action and forge your own path? The world does not reward hesitancy, it rewards movement. Start. Now, act consistently, and let your mindset catch up with your ambition. Fix the mind, fix the future before 2026 arrives. The most important thing you can do is fix how you think, because everything else depends on it. I have seen people with talent, resources, and opportunity fail simply because their mindset was stuck in old patterns. The world will not wait for you to feel comfortable or ready. Opportunity recognizes preparation, not excuses. A fixed, disciplined mindset allows you to see solutions where others see problems, to act where others hesitate, and to endure when others quit. I learned through my own failures that changing your circumstances begins with changing your thoughts. When I first imagined Alibaba, people said it was impossible. If I had allowed doubt, fear, or conventional thinking to dominate me, nothing would have happened. But I chose to refine my thinking, to challenge assumptions, and to embrace uncertainty. That is the true power of mindset. It turns what seems impossible into something achievable. Fixing your mind is not a one-time event. It is a daily choice, made in every decision, in every reaction, in every challenge. Each morning before you act, your mindset determines whether you will move forward or stay trapped. Most people wait for the world to change. Builders change themselves first. History remembers those who adjusted early, not those who complained later. Before 2026, commit to upgrading your thinking. Remove limiting beliefs, embrace discomfort, and train yourself to see opportunity in chaos. The future will not slow down for you. It will test your readiness. Fix your mind now. And the rest, your actions, your results, your legacy, will follow naturally.